Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for AEW Collision post-show review. What a loaded card we have for tonight. Kevin Knight defending the TNT title against Hook, and also Jack Perry defending the national championship against Mascara Dorada. Anna Jay is returning to television and she will be challenging Willow Nightingale for the TBS title. So let's get dive into it and talk about that. So we started off with 10-man tag match, Death Riders and the Dogs versus the Rascalz and Top Flight. We started fast and furious with both teams brawling at its ringside. The brawling ceased to stop at ringside as Corners and Vance continued the battle in the ring. We saw Vance got out of the brawl and uh, Xavier and Reed showed some excellent double team work against Finley before Darius and Pac entered the match. Myron Reed is going crazy, tagging in and trading chops with Moxley in the middle of the ring. Myron Reed tried to run at Moxley but was sent flying at the outside, which allowed Marina Shafir to get in a cheap shot as well. Action pack everywhere. Corners held his opponent by the leg to keep him away, but Reed kicked him away to briefly escape. Finley joined in on the attack on Reed as the Death Riders took out everyone on the other corner as well. The Dogs regained momentum as Finley powerbombed Vance followed by a corner spear. The Rascal broke up the count and this match continued on. Pac blocked Darius' sunset flip attempt for a cover that didn't work out. Darius tagged in and got Pac with a springboard leap. That looks good. Castagnoli got Dante in the giant swing, which was punctured by a Moxley dropkick. That looks brutal. Finley and Connor got hit with the stereo cord breakers as Top Flight hit and assisted DDT on Moxley. Then Pac finished it off with applying the brutalizer submission, and the Darius Martin taps out. So Death Riders and the Dogs get the win, and that was a pretty hot opener. Once again, all the men looks good in this match, and which is the beauty of how AEW functions. I think they do a great job in making wrestlers look even more uh, beautiful in these kind of matches. Next up is Jack Perry versus Mascara Dorada for the national championship. I thought that was a banger of a match. Jack Perry in this national title reign looks fantastic in every defense. Perry and Dorada shook hands to begin before to engage in some fast-paced chain wrestling. Perry Irish whipped Dorada but was met with a mid-air tornado into Hurricane Rana by the challenger. That looks nasty. He then followed that up with a tornado over the top rope and down to the ground, take Perry out. Then we saw both men on the barricade as well, but it was Dorada who got the best of his foe with a destroyed on top of the barricade. That looks very brutal. Dorada and Perry traded super kicks until national champion hit a pointer Rana. That didn't seem to affect Dorada, who answered with a modified code red as both men were down, and the crowd goes nuts for that. Perry connected the blue thunder bomb for a very close near fall. Perry blocked an attempted dive from the apron with a punch to Dorada that sent him crashing to the ringside area. We saw Perry attempted a deadlift suplex but got punched out. Dorada headed to the top rope and made no mistake with the 450 splash. 1, 2, and no, that was a very close count. We saw both men were on the apron now as the national champion countered a destroyer attempted with a super kick. A frustrated Dorada headed up top again and went for a shooting star press. Perry got the knees up to block it. Perry leapt up to Dorada, perched on the top rope and got the win with the avalanche Hurricane Rana with the 3 count and retaining the national championship. I think that was one hell of a match, and these two just have a great chemistry with each other. So again, a very good title defense for Jack Perry. We got the footage of Wednesday night as Renee interviewed Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida. Statlander didn't seem happy with Shida's antics, stating that she had cost her everything. Shida said she was going to make it up to her, but Statlander wasn't going to have any of it, and Statlander stormed off angrily. So we are building this story as well. Next up is Conglomeration in action against MXM TV. O'Reilly and Mansoor started off. O'Reilly kicked Mansoor, which prompted him to tag Mason into the match. O'Reilly kicked Mason as Johnny was tagged in. We saw MXM took out O'Reilly and Strong on the apron, which allowed Johnny to get the advantage on Cassidy as well. Cassidy ducked Mace's attack as he then grabbed Mansoor and pushed him to the outside. In the ring, we saw Riley and Strong left Johnny out cold with a double team move, and Cassidy hit the diving elbow for the 3 count. And Conglomeration wins the match. Then we saw Tommaso Ciampa appeared after the match to taunt the Conglomeration trio, as we were reminded that Dax Harwood will face Orange Cassidy in a double jeopardy match on Wednesday Night Dynamite. It's gonna be an interesting match to see on Dynamite as well. Next up is Willow Nightingale defending the TBS Championship against Anna Jay, the returning Anna Jay on TV. Jay attempted a side headlock takeover, but Willow blocked it as the champion beckoned her for to show me your fire. Jay responded in kind with the sunset flip. Willow in the corner, Jay hit her with the kicks, followed by a snapmare and a drop kick that looks nasty. This match resumed as Willow hit a spine buster on Jay for a very close near fall. She managed to hit it with a dead valley driver for a very close near fall as Anna Jay kicked out as well. Jay applied the Queen Slayer submission on Willow, but the TBS champion used her strength to muscle her out of the way. In the end, the comeback killer picked up the win with the planted Babe with the power bomb to retain the TBS championship. And after the match, we saw Anna Jay hugged Willow, and I think so she is not re-signing with the All Elite Wrestling, and she might be leaving after his contract expires. So let's see what happens next. Next up, we saw Renee is with Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander, Harley Cameron, and Mina Shirakawa. Shida said that she made it up to Statlander by giving her a tag match against Harley Cameron and Shirakawa. Stat still didn't seem happy with all of this as she walked away from the scene. So again, we are building this tension between Shida and Stat. Next up is a tag match. Death Riders, Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia versus the Bang Bang Gang, Juice Robinson and Ace Austin. John Moxley was on commentary for this one. Juice and Yuta started it off for their teams. We saw Garcia taunted Juice with push-ups in the middle of the ring as Yuta tagged in. Juice foiled the Garcia and Yuta double team attempt as Austin got the tag and hit a leg drop on Garcia. We saw Garcia was taking it to Austin with the conveyor belt attack. Austin was then flattened by a double shotgun dropkick from the Death Riders as well. Garcia countered a sunset flip into a Dragon Tamer attempt, but that got turned into a Death Valley driver from Austin as well. Then Garcia goes to the outside of the ring. Yuta engaged in a little friendly fire as Juice pushed Garcia in the way of a diving Yuta. Ace Austin was thrown over the top rope by Garcia. A blooded Yuta sent Juice into a pile driver, followed by a fastball special, and that was a very close near fall, 2.999. We saw Austin joined in and got dropped with a Samoan drop. Juice got the punch on Yuta, followed by a finishing DDT to pick up the win for the Bang Bang Gang, and that was a very good victory for the Bang Bang Gang. After the match, Juice motioned at John Moxley on commentary and looked like he wanted a shot at AEW Continental title. Garcia attacked Juice from behind as Yuta took it to the Austin. The Death Riders attack was cut short by the return of Colton and Austin Gunn. It was the Guns full force coming back and hitting Yuta with the 310 to Yuma finisher after just missing out a finisher on Moxley. So Guns declared the Collision Cowboys are back, and that they only had 2 words for those they aren't down with that. Guns up. So Bang Bang Gang is in full force, and now we only need Jay White to come back, and I think so he is not long that we see Jay White on AEW TV, and we might get a feud between Jay White and John Moxley over the Continental title. I think it's gonna be a fantastic feud to see. Next up, we saw Sky Blue in action against Nixie XS. Sky flattened Nixie with the charging big boot to start off the match. Sky threw Nixie back into the ring and got to the top rope. Nixie tried to interrupt her, but instead she was caught in an up compromising position with chicken and Oz kick from Sky Blue, followed by the power bomb. and knee to the face. Sky then applied the descent into Madness Sleeper to pick up the victory. So again, a very good victory after a win over Persephone in last week Collision. So we are building Sky Blue for, I think so, maybe a TBS title shot against Willow Nightingale. And it's time for the main event. Kevin Knight defending the TNT title against Hook. Hook attempted a suplex on Knight but couldn't capitalize to start off the match. He did manage to get a takedown on Knight, which prompted the TNT champion to ask if Shibata taught Hook that move. Hook and Knight landed on their feet after taking their respective arm drags. In the corner, Knight blasted Hook with the punches to the chest followed by the uppercut. Hook avoided a dive from Knight by just stepping out of the way. Shibata provided a distraction which allowed Hook to throw Knight into the stands with the exploded suplex that looks brutal. We saw Northern Light suplex from Hook, and Knight shackled Hook with the acrobatic lariat followed by the scoop slam and running frog splash type maneuver for a very close near fall. Knight climbed to the top, but Shibata got on the apron and smashed the ropes to trip up Knight in revenge for using the dropkick of his. Hook capitalized with an avalanche exploded suplex, followed by another suplex on the floor for a very close near fall. Then we saw Hook beckon Knight to get up as he looked to go in for the kill. He applied the red rum, but Knight reversed it into a pinfall. Another pin attempt by Kevin Knight, and in the meanwhile, Knight punched Shibata out as well after Hook kicked out. We saw Kevin Knight headed up top and hit the UFO splash. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Kevin Knight retains the TNT title, and he's now ready for his World Championship match against Darby Allin next week on Dynamite, I think. So it's gonna be a fantastic match. One heck of a main event this was, and I thought Hook looks best in this match. Kevin Knight continues to be a standout star in recent months, and the show was fantastic and action-packed night for Collision, and Dynamite is gonna be fantastic show as well. So that's the end of the show, folks. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.